Welcome to Successful Living with Bill Knapik. Every week we talk about success and everything that goes along with it. You'll learn the principles of success, how to achieve success, and learn to overcome challenges that may be getting in the way of success in your life. You'll hear from Bill Knapik, a radio personality and business development expert, along with insight from special guests. If you're ready to find your path to success or take the success you're enjoying to the next level, stay tuned. Successful Living with Bill Knapik is on right now.
And welcome to the show, Successful Living with Bill Knapik. And today's Successful Living with Alexa Fischer. Certainly go to alexafischer.com. Alexa is a gifted actress. She is a speaker. She is a communication leadership coach. And she is our special guest today on Successful Living. Alexa, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
As always, it is great because success is so important in what you do. You have so many things that you offer people. And let's talk about that you're an actress, most certainly, but also you lead people and you are a coach. You have online courses and also you coach people right there in California. But let's tell people, first of all, one of the things that we bring with us all the time, whether it's positive or negative, we bring energy to every situation. So let's touch upon energy first.
Absolutely. I think it's funny when we talk about success strategies, oftentimes we jump to what we're going to say or how we're going to interact in a group, but actually our energy is the most important thing because it's contagious. And we feel this, right? When someone walks into the room, we can sense within a millisecond, are they in a positive headspace or a negative one? And our body responds accordingly. We naturally push away from people that are in a bad headspace, a bad energy, but we gravitate towards the people that are coming from a much more positive, optimistic place. So with any of my students or my clients, I really take time to show them the power of positive energy because it sets you for success literally from the moment you walk into a room.
In fact, it is almost can be considered an intangible, but the effects of positive or negative are so tangible. And it makes me think of John Maxwell. One of his principles is called the elevator principle. We have the ability sometimes to lift people up or to bring them down, right?
Right, absolutely. And it can be very simple strategies. So for individuals that I work with that are nervous before a speaking engagement, I often tell them when you're driving to the event, make sure that you're listening to music that totally gets you in a great mood. Make sure that you're eating well and sleeping well. All of the sort of foundational basic things that puts your body in a more healthy and positive place. These tiny little shifts, they make a huge effect on the way that you handle yourself, the way that you feel, and the way that others feel you. But when we think about positive energy, it's amazing that many of us are driven by the negative chatter that's inside our own heads. We're often our worst critics, and the things that we would never say out loud, we are constantly saying to ourselves, I'm not good enough, I'm nervous, I'm going to make a terrible impression, I hate being here, this is such a drag. All of these habitual negative thoughts, we want to really step back and compassionately examine and say, okay, well, what is it that I say to myself that I'm bringing myself down? And we need to identify that and then flip it to something more positive. Not artificially positive, something that you're not necessarily going to believe, but something that's just a little more positive than where you are right now. So, for me, I'll just share a little personal insight to make it more specific. As a mom, as a businesswoman, as someone who's involved in giving back, I literally would run through my life saying, I never have enough time. It would be this sort of low-grade anxiety that stemmed from this single limited belief that there was never enough time to do all the things that I wanted to do and do them well. And once I identified that one sentence, I don't have enough time, and I flipped it to something more positive that says, I have all the time that I need, or I have just amount of time, just the right amount of time. That phrase gave me the correct mindset so that if I sat down to do a task, I was coming from a place of much more calm and confidence. And I don't know, Bill, if you have one of those. We all have them. You don't have to out yourself right here. But I think that success really starts from that place of understanding your energy and understanding how your thoughts help determine that energy.
That is so important. We could do 5 hours on I don't have enough time. Not only when we say it to ourselves, but Alexa, when we're talking about this, I recall a friend of mine, and every time I talk to her, she's in the real estate profession, that's all she says, and I'm tired of hearing it. Oh, I don't have enough time. I'm so busy. I'm covered up. That's just not a good thing, and I'm glad that you mentioned that because we do that to ourselves. And the other word that you mentioned is mindset. Mm-hmm. Probably a good idea when we start to date each day to check our mindset, because right there, if we calibrate right off the bat and start saying the right things, have the right attitude, that would be a great way to start our day.
Yes, it's an absolute game changer. And for people who are really, anyone who's listening to your show is obviously investing in themselves and understanding the power of personal development and professional development. And sometimes we overcomplicate things. And when I was just actually talking to a client yesterday, and I was sharing with him, he really wanted to adjust his morning rituals because it was important for him to get out energy in the morning. And again, it was like, no, you don't have to book in your calendar that you're going to train for a marathon, because that includes, so many other things that you have to do on top of that. Just commit to doing that brisk walk in the morning or the run. That's it. You don't have to make it more complicated than that. But when you find those behaviors that are going to put you in a positive mindset and you do them, you commit to taking action, everything changes. Your mind becomes clearer, more productive, more calm, more positive, and it doesn't become personal. Like there's something wrong with you that you can't accomplish X, Y, and Z, or you're constantly stressed out. We don't have to overcomplicate things. Sometimes it is about commitment and making some adjustments to your behavior. And that's it. So for anyone listening, you're right. That morning, how you begin your morning really sets up that entire day.
Indeed it does. And people are hearing you, Alexa, and they could feel your energy. They're not seeing you, but they can feel your energy. And I will also tell people, I want to reference your website one more time, Alexa, Fischer.com, because when they go to that site, they can hear the excitement that you bring, the way you are passionate about the topics that you bring forth to help people, but they can also see the excitement. I guess that's where your actress abilities and skills come in, because you light up even the shortest of videos. So my hat's off to you there. And I know that people will hear this show, they'll go to your website and they'll say, wow, she's really something. And look at the topics she's bringing forth. No doubt about it.
Yeah, well, let me give you a little reference to sort of the way that I work and my mindset about people, and certainly my love of teaching and my love of helping people shine their light. And it stems from, I've always loved people from the time I was a little girl, and I turned that love into the love of acting, which is really the interpretation and the portrayal of human behaviors, motivations, and things like that. At a certain point, as a working actress, I found that there was way too much sitting around on a TV set waiting for the director to yell action. And I knew that my passion for people could be put to a higher purpose, especially because I saw people not in the entertainment industry really comparing themselves to the stars that they saw on the airbrush pages of People magazine. And it really bothered me, because my belief was that everyone is amazing. And if I could teach people the skills to ignite their own light, that sort of light up a room quality, that magical energy that every person has inside of them, then I was living my purpose. So many years ago, I just started, while I was still acting, I would do it on the side, and I started building online courses and making videos, and really, I just built something out of scratch because I felt that there was a higher calling, that I was driven to do something with the way that I not only saw the world, but the desire to give people the skills to communicate effectively and tap into this light, something I call their 1,000-watt presence. This idea that you can shine like the stars that people so admire on television.
And I would encourage people to go to the IMDb site and look up your name, Alexa Fischer, and they'll see some of your acting credentials. You've been in some great shows, NCIS, Rizzoli and Isles, Lie to Me, The Unit, Bones, all these shows. And you're right, and I'm a big fan of TV and movies, so acting is so important. But like you said, the behind the scenes, it's hurry up and wait. And there's so many
boy.
things that you could be doing, as you say.
Yeah, it's true. And I enjoy the craft of acting. I enjoyed many parts of the community of being in the entertainment industry. And, but again, I feel that we have to be very aware of this idea that, and especially it extends beyond the entertainment industry. When people are looking at Facebook or Instagram and they're comparing themselves, people are forgetting that these are curated versions of their life. And if, in fact, those activities you bring your awareness to, if you're scanning, whether you're looking at competitors' activities or their vacations or whatever that thing is, that is curated. It's just one step below the sort of fiction that's on television and movies. And again, how does that affect your energy? If it inspires you, awesome, keep doing it. But if you turn off Facebook and you feel a little depressed or annoyed, then understand that the energy of that activity is bringing you down. Success strategies are all about finding the tools that lift you up, that ignite your light, that inspire you to dig a little bit deeper and say, where am I stuck? Where am I getting in my own way? And instead of, what most people do is they avoid that. They don't want to lean into the places that make them feel uncomfortable. But the success strategies are using those points of discomfort for areas for you to lean in with curiosity and say, you know what, it makes me, I really don't understand, let's say for me, social media marketing. Who can I go learn from to get better at that? Where can I practice? How can I develop those skills? That is the mindset of someone who is really ready to develop themselves personally and professionally, is instead of avoiding, lean into with curiosity and take action.
Indeed. And as you mentioned, the 1,000-watt presence, they can find that on your website, and there are podcasts there that they can take with them and listen in the car as they go along. Now, let's go to another kind of related topic. As we talked about the energy that we bring forth, the mindset, we have interactions that are both casual and some that are very important in our lives all day long, most of us. And our goal is to make a great first impression. And then, so tell us about your thoughts on that. And then also the importance of, if we make that great first impression, how important is that?
Well, it's very important because first impressions are the gateway to every relationship. You're meeting somebody for the first time, no matter who they are. And those relationships can be powerful tools in your business, and in your personal life. And most, classically, people say a great first impression has to do with looking someone in the eye and giving them a firm handshake and sharing a warm smile, and all of that is very important. But what I have found is, and the real sort of aha moment for the people that I work with, is that most people are nervous what other people are thinking about them, meaning their attention is inward instead of externally focused on the person that you're meeting. And what that means is that you're kind of trapped in your own head or trapped in your own insecurities when you're meeting someone, wondering, do they like me? Did I say the right thing? Or do they want to talk to me? Me. Instead, free yourself up from any of those thoughts and be focused on them. Ask questions. Come to any event being prepared to connect with a question. That's one of the best way to win somebody over, is to be genuinely engaged and curious about who they are. And so instead of saying, so what do you do, which often totally makes people nervous because most people don't have this brilliant elevator pitch in their back pocket to share, instead, if you're at a networking event, you can ask them, so what excited you about coming tonight? Or why did you come tonight? Or who do you know here? Something that they probably can answer very quickly, which will be the gateway to just sort of have that natural banter. And I think that having some questions in advance really sets that up and figure out what questions you genuinely want to ask somebody when you meet them, even in a personal setting.
It's very interesting. In fact, I love that you use the word gateways, because it is a gateway. When we think about anything that has been terrific that's happened in our life, any great thing, any great relationship, it's because we went out of the house and met somebody, whether it's a job, our loved ones, whatever it is. So indeed, if we look at those potential relationships in our business or our personal world as gateways, that is so important. And I think that is great. The other thing that comes to mind as you described that is that we are so much, many times, in ourselves that what you're describing is just for those first few seconds as we're putting our hand forth to shake, we're all thinking about ourselves. The advice, simply put, is to get out of ourselves as we put that hand forth, put a smile, and meet that person, and we're going to do much better.
Absolutely. I mean, actually, my intention when I go to networking events is who can I help? Who can I help? Not because I'm going to help them with my services, but literally, who can I help with a referral? Who can I help with? Who can I help? How can I be of service? So then it's really not about me at all. I do not go to any event saying, what big person can I meet? Or who can, no. I'm there to learn something. I'm there to help somebody, to give them insight, whatever. If it's a babysitter referral or a great restaurant that I know of or, whomever. And I just went to an event, and I think it's important for everyone listening, it's to go to events, to show up even when you don't feel like it, make the effort, put on some great music, put on a wonderful outfit that makes you feel confident, and just go. Every time I go to events, even when I'm like, oh man, I don't feel like, driving across town or whatever, every time I go, I'm excited that I went. There's someone new that I met, maybe a new friendship, maybe, who knows? I'm always excited, so you have to go. And the other day, I showed up downtown to this VIP breakfast. I didn't know a soul. And even though I love meeting people, and even though, this is what I do for a living, I think it's also true that I walked around this event kind of scanning the room, looking for a friendly face, who to talk to, and there were moments that could easily felt for me like really uncomfortable and insecure. And that's just part of the deal. Like, it just is. So I just stayed in that feeling of like, it's so funny. Everybody is here with somebody else. So they're all engaged in conversations, and I don't want to be a total dork and just stand there and being like, hi, I'm Alexa. But I just sat with it, and I looked around until I found the people that I was meant to talk to. And I did. I met amazing people. But you have to exercise that, and you do that by showing up, by showing up, by showing up.
That's exactly right. And when you say that about the party, of course, I have to remember it was Johnny Carson that said, here he is in front of millions of people, but he was the guy who says, hey, when I'm at a party, I'm in the corner. I'm not active. I don't know if you remember that. And then the other thing you talk about service and serving others, there is a joy in serving others, and we could take it on the business level. Companies and places that are in the service business that do exceptionally well at it, and I'm thinking of one, I don't know how far I know you're in California, but one of my favorite places of service excellence is the Ritz-Carlton Dana Point Laguna Niguel. I've discovered that hotel in 1995, and I love it because their service is unparalleled. They're always looking for a way, and I think about it as the recipient of being served, whether it's by a company or an individual. I also think the flip side is the pleasure that they have when you are able to influence and you are able to serve someone and make them feel good. That's a reward in itself.
Yeah, well, it's like the best part of being a human.
Exactly.
I mean, I think in this day and age, our responsibility to give back to this world is to be in service and to treat others the way we wish to be treated. It is just human kindness, goodness. This transcends everything. And I think that when you come into your engagements with that kind of selflessness, selfless giving, it really is a game changer. And not only in the way that you feel and probably the outcome in your life, but how you affect change on others. Not everybody is listening to your radio show. Not everybody is reading self-help books and going to extra seminars to be better at what they do. So because you, the listener, that means that you can share some of that insight, even energetically, with the people that you meet. And that's how we change. That's how the world changes. And that's true.
And Alexa, let's tell people as the clock is ticking about Wish Beads.
Oh, Wish Beads is my latest endeavor. Just when you thought I wasn't busy enough, I launched a new company called Wish Beads, Beads, and it's a tool that stemmed from my desire to give people an individual experience to visualize their goals, write it down on paper, roll that paper to create paper beads that you can actually see your writing on the outside, and you wear them on your wrist to inspire you to take action towards what you want in life. And this was We don't have time to go into how I created it, but the intention here is to give people a tool, something specific that really activates that purpose-driven life. Because I noticed that my clients, my students, people who are drawn to my work, they all had this deep belief that they were capable of something pretty special in their work, in their life, that they had an awareness that there was something more for them. Very similar to my journey from an actress to a teacher and a speaker, was how do I take action on this? Because that's how wishes really come true. You see them, you articulate them, and you take action towards them. Wish beads is that tool to give people that experience, almost like a vision board that you wear on your wrist. It's pretty cool, and it's just launched, so it's over on wishbeads.com.
Very nice. Wishbeads.com, AlexaFischer.com, and we only have about a minute or so left. I do want to mention you were on the Today Show recently, just a few weeks ago. The appearance, give people a word on that. They can find it on the website.
It was small talk strategies for cocktail parties. And I will tell you, for anybody who is building a blog, the producers from the Today Show found me from my blog. It was unbelievable. But Tamron Hall she was a host, she was wrapping up her engagement there at the Today Show, but she truly fears small talk party conversations, and she doesn't know what to do. So we worked out some 3 specific strategies for people to really know how to navigate it. And it's a lot of the things that we actually talked about on the show today, which is being mindful of your energy, finding that friendly face in the room, being able to be prepared with some questions, be very curious, things that we've already talked about. But it's interesting, over on my blog, over at Alexa Fischer, I broke down how I prepared for the Today Show. My work is all about doing what it takes to be prepared for any situation. And many times we just, quote, wing it because we're really afraid to kind of do the work and see what would happen. But I walk my own talk. And I broke down exactly what I did to prepare for the Today Show. After spending years coaching other people to be on the Today Show, I really do know what it takes to make it look like it's effortless. Like I just walked off the street and started talking in front of live television.
And it was excellent.
It was a pretty cool experience, but very, very chaotic, and I'm glad I prepared as much as I did.
Indeed. With the last 30 seconds, Alexa, what else would you like people to know?
I want people to understand that they're capable of so much, and that their journey to finding the tools to really succeed, it's key to enjoy that process and not feel like it's never enough. It's more than enough. If you're listening to the show, you are doing the great work, and the key is there's no magical endpoint in which you say, yes, I am successful. The truth is, be gentle with yourself, be courageous and positive along the way, and it'll be good for yourself and everyone you come into contact with. That's my little word of encouragement.
And thank you so much for that. AlexaFischer.com. Ladies and gentlemen, Alexa Fischer, you are listening to Successful Living with Bill Knapik and the one and only Alexa Fischer. Thank you, Alexa.
Oh, it's such a pleasure. Great speaking with you.
And we will see you next week. Thank you for listening. Go to Bill Knapik Radio Shows. That's my YouTube channel, and we will see you next week. Thanks for listening.